I'm live at the set of The Fosters. Oh, no. I should have done it with an American, anchor accent. No, I'm not even gonna try. Hey, it's Maia Mitchell, and you are watching Shine On Media.
So, brand new ABC Family show. We are getting to meet the family for the first time. What are the essential things we need to know about Callie?
About Callie, the essential things is that she's had a really, really tough upbringing. She's grown up in the foster system and has really had to kind of fend for herself and grow up really, really quickly. And so she seems kind of harsh and kind of judgmental and sort of, she's misunderstood. And I think that that's important to know, is that there's a lot more to Callie than meets the surface.
What is one big difference and big similarity between you and Callie?
The big difference is she's American, so that's one. But she's also, she's had a really, really tough upbringing, and I've been very blessed in my life. I have very present parents who are very loving and very supportive, whereas Callie's really had to be totally independent and really kind of look after herself. So I think that, that's the main kind of difference. The similarities, I think, she's pretty chill, and she's very kind of open and accepting, and I think that you learn that quite quickly about her, and I'd hope to think that I'm like that.
So there's a lot of drama already in the first episode. What can you tease that's coming up for the rest of the season?
A lot of romance, some triangles. We've got a lot of drama, and just young people figuring out who they are and what that means, and what it means to belong to a family that is made up of people from all different backgrounds and walks of life. So there's people dealing with their culture and how that affects them and who they are and their future, and I think that the storylines are very kind of sophisticated, and I really like that. So there's a lot of drama and a lot of kind of teen stuff, but there's also, a lot of kind of more deep kind of storylines as well, so it's cool.
And in the first episode, we see Callie and Brandon kind of develop this bond. How's she gonna react with the other siblings? Because we didn't see too much interaction.
I think that the relationship between Mariana and Callie is really interesting because they're both young girls. They've had a very different, experience, but they kind of have this strange connection because they are both, living without their mothers, and so they kind of relate, and then they don't all at the same time. So that's really interesting. And then you've got, Callie and the mums, and that's a really interesting situation because it's like Callie trying to figure out whether she wants to let them in and be cared for because she never has, and so it's that dynamic. So it's interesting. There's a lot going on. You've got a lot of different kinds of people living on the same roof, and it's crazy.
This show touches on quite a lot of different issues, but the one that I feel like is important, at least for kids like me, is I'm adopted. So this is a show that there hasn't been a lot of them.
There hasn't. There really hasn't.
How was that important for you to be a part of?
It was important for me because I have a really close family member that was a foster kid, and I know that it's something that she's kind of dealt with the repercussions of her whole life, and it was a big part of her life and a big part of her growing up and becoming who she is, and particularly with the character of Callie, I totally felt for her straight away and completely just wanted to be able to tell her story and tell these stories, to people who, like you, haven't, had their stories out there. And I think that the show is really just relatable to a lot of different kinds of people. And I think that's what's really cool about it. You should tune into The Fosters because it's kind of progressive, and it has a place right now, and it's doing something important, I think. And it's relatable to a lot of different people who haven't had their stories told. And I think that from the get-go, you are drawn to these characters and you want to know what happens to them, and there's a lot of drama and there's a lot of mystery, and I think that it's a very touching story, and it's about love, and I think that that's what makes it such a great show.
That poor girl has been through so much.
It's not where you come from.
Promise me that we'll be somewhere safe.
It's where you belong. The world premiere of The Fosters, Monday, June 3rd, only on ABC Family.